Welcome to all our viewers to the BabyChakra community. This is your host Manisha Pradhan here, and we welcome you today and to our live session that is called "What is the right age to introduce music to kids and how music helps children." So we will be talking to Aditi Shah, who's the founder of Musical Bonding. But before we start, let me tell you a little about Baby Chakra. So Baby Chakra is a platform for parents to connect with experts and other parents and to make their parenting journey better and to make better parenting decisions. And we also are India's most loved online store for baby care products. So moving on to Aditi. Aditi, why don't you tell us a little more about musical bonding?
Thank you. Thank you, Manisha, for having me here. I have been part of Baby Chakra from the day it started, and you guys are doing great job. Let me start on that note. Musical bonding is essentially a music and movement program, which started as an after-school activity where we work with the children and parents, introducing them different key concepts through music. So while we are exposing them to music, we are also providing them an opportunity for social interactions, social, emotional development, physical development. We work with very youngest age group, I believe. We work with the children 6 months to 5 years old. So our goal is not to teach them something, but goal is to create an environment which is conducive of learning. We believe at that age, children are like sponge. So give the right information and they will keep absorbing the right information.
That's very true, rightly said. So, Aditi, tell us why is music so important for children and their development?
Why is music so important? I actually like to ask everybody, can you tell me any other tool? And when I say tool, there are essentially 3 or 4 things that we use as tools at this age group to teach children. One being your art and craft, other being your playway method, and third being the stories. These are the 3 tools that all the preschools, all the schools, essentially these are the tools you can use in first 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of learning in child's life, music being the fourth tool. So I don't know of any other tool that uses both sides of your brain or that stimulates both sides of your brain. So music, if you ask me if I have to put it in order, I will put music on top because it stimulates both sides of your brain. It has words, it has language, it has numbers, it has sounds, it has stories. Right
True.
after music, I would put art and craft, and then I would move to stories and play. So I believe music, I think music is absolutely important. And we do introduce children to music in some form or other. It's just that sometimes we are aware, sometimes we are not aware of it. Heartbeat is music.
Correct. Yeah. And what is the right age to enroll a child for your musical bonding classes?
Right age right age for my class, I officially take children at 6 months, and that is more to do with that's the age grandparents allow children to go out. Unofficially, as my free sibling policy, I have had children as young as 5 day old attend the class.
Oh,
If I can have it my way, I would like to have the children in the musical environment as soon as they develop listening sense. So essentially, the exposure to the right kind of sound starts in the womb itself when children start listening, because that's the first sense that develops.
true.
So, to answer in short, officially, we start 6 months onwards.
Yes.
A lot of parents feel it's too early, and I say come and try and experience because it's not just for children, it's also for parents.
Correct. So, have you had any pregnant moms, pregnant women coming to you with a
A lot of
request?
times. So, not pregnant mom as a first time mom, but pregnant mom as a second time mom. We have had many. In
Oh,
fact,
okay.
currently we have few. We do encourage to. babies to siblings come in our classes for free. And a
Yeah.
lot of time when a parent is coming with the first child, second child starts benefiting from the womb, because
Okay.
pregnant mother pretty much comes till 9 months.
True. So, what are the instruments, are there different instruments that you use for someone who's pregnant using instruments for little babies, like the 6 month old?
Um, no, no, we would use the same instruments, and I'm glad you're asking me about instrument. A lot of time when we talk about music and instrument, the preconceived notion and idea is about guitar, keyboard, tabla. But with children, we don't use those instruments. Those are for adults. Those are for children. Children are ready for those kind of instruments after
Mhm.
6 years of age, to be very honest.
Correct.
At a younger age, we use a lot of percussion instruments. So we use things like egg shakers or a bell bends or movement based instruments or percussion like rhythm sticks. The whole spectrum of different kind of sounds are introduced,
Yes.
whether it is sound through metal, sound through wood, sound through grains, but these are all percussion where we control the sound. So it is
Right.
same for children and it's same for adult. We use this instruments also as tool for engaging their sense of touch.
Correct.
So the focus and attention increases when their hands are engaged. So, what is essentially happening is hands are engaged, touch is engaged, hearing is engaged, and then sight is also engaged because teacher is in the class doing something.
Correct. So when you say, children are allowed to touch and feel, so is it that, parents and children together, a 6 month old, are they able to hold something and, play with that? Or is it someone else doing that for them, playing the music for them? So how does it work?
No, no. So in our class, we do take advantage, or we do use the background music track
Yeah.
that goes on along with the teacher. Sometimes these tracks are karaoke tracks to add music
Yeah.
to the song that we are doing. We don't do nursery rhymes, we do songs. We actually source our song and music from a US based company called the Music Class. They have
Right.
done years of research to make this unique collections of songs.
Okay.
So we do use background karaoke track. Each song is treated differently. Each song's treatment is differently depending on what we want to communicate to children. Coming
Yeah.
back to your question, would a 6 month old be
Able
using the
to hold.
prompts?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to come to our class to see a 6 month old. By the time they are in third and fourth class, they are all over. They know that in this space I'm treated as an individual. I have the same status as a 4 year old. I'm not a baby in the class. And
Okay.
you have to see how they know when to take the instrument and when to let it go. Yes, they would not get the beat as a 4 year old or a 3 year
Yeah.
old would get, because
Obviously.
they will be advanced in what they can do. But if we are doing, say, a song with egg shakers are given to parents, egg shaker is given to a 6 month old, egg shaker is given to a 3 year old also. 3 year
Okay.
old will treat it differently than a 6 month old. 6 month old is mostly trying to, you know,
Grasp.
master his grip and get a movement little bit, but movement will not be to the beat, to the tune.
Okay. So are there like different instruments for a 6 year old and a 12 month and 6 month old and a 12 month old? Does it change or is it are the same instruments the same for all age groups?
So instruments are same for all age group. Our instruments change based on the song. So
Right.
every 3 months our collection of song changes, and based on the song and song treatment, instruments do change, but they
Okay.
don't change age wise.
All right.
So we believe in of course we have to be more careful when we give certain instruments to younger kids versus older
Correct.
kids, but
Correct.
still we do give that exposure to them. Some instrument, like for example, if we are working with a resonator bell, 6-month-old will not be able to play with the same accuracy. So we might just give them the mallet to play and, get the movement or get the beat right. They will not be able to get the tone right or a hit right on the bells. So that variation is definitely there. But like I said, when they come in the class, they know they have to get their instruments. They are not going to accept, oh, I'm young, you don't give me instrument. They will demand their instrument.
So have you had incidents where a child doesn't want to let go of an instrument? How do you deal with that?
Distraction. So yes, in the beginning, first couple classes, when children typically join us for the first time, they do want to hang on to instruments. But we have this great barter system. Typically what happens is, say for example, we are using a particular instrument for a first song, and that second song instrument changes. So even though a child wants to hold on to that instrument, he sees, oh, if I give this, I'll get something else. They
Okay.
barter, and very soon they learn that this lady not only takes away the instrument, she gives me also. So in the big, and we have very simple, like, we, if sometimes children want to hang on to instrument, we allow them, because some children want little bit more time with one particular sound. Let it be, that's fine, as long as it's safe. They are not throwing it around, they are allowed to hang on to the instrument. It takes typically 3 classes, and by then all children are like tuned to returning the instruments. In fact, I mean, it's a joke. At the beginning of the session, children want to hang on to instruments. At the end of the session, parents want to hang on to. We have to remind the mothers, okay, please return now. Song might be over, and they will be still in their tune, singing and playing instruments.
So the mothers play along with the children, is it? Is that
Yes,
how it
they
works?
do. Yes, they do. Yes,
Okay.
they
And
do.
so how many times a week does one have to bring the children to your, the musical bonding sessions? How many sessions do you have per child, or how many sessions would you recommend?
So typically, the structure of the classes are conducted once a week for parent.
Okay.
We do give you music access at home. We always in the beginning ask parents, just play this 5, 10 times, because we know that if a mother plays the music or the songs at home 5 times, child will be hooked onto it, and then they will do the job. They, whether they are 6 month old, talking, not talking, they know how to get their work done.
Hmm.
They will ask parents to play the music at home again and again. Repetition is key to learning at this age. Repetition is important. That's how we all remember movie songs, don't
Correct.
we?
Yeah.
I mean, if we go back and try to recollect, we'll remember the songs we have heard as child so beautifully, start to finish. Who
True.
writes and remembers the song or learns the song? I don't remember mugging it up.
It comes
So
naturally.
listening, it comes naturally because we have heard it X number of times.
Correct. Correct.
So when the songs are played at home also, we see huge benefit in the child. Whatever we expose them to becomes part of their long-term memory. I'll give you an example. We have children coming to us at the age of 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. They are not yet talking. They are listening.
Okay.
When those mothers come to us with a second child, when these younger kids are about 4 or 5 years old, mothers also message us and tell us, oh, I played this song after 3 years and my
That's
child knows the song, and he was not talking then, but he was listening.
that's wonderful. So do you have a lot of fathers joining in too, or is it just the mothers?
No, 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 no. Lots of fathers. In fact, I think we are probably, I mean, I like to say this, that we are probably one of the first class where fathers come regularly. I
Oh,
have to say, I'm super impressed with the way parents are sharing responsibilities these days.
correct. Equal
Typically, our
parenting.
Saturday classes, yeah, very impressive. Our Saturday morning classes, we see more fathers than mothers.
That's nice.
A lot of times we have to consciously remember that today in class there are no mothers, it's all fathers. And what we also noticed is that when one father is coming regularly, that encourages more and more father to come
Fathers.
regularly.
Yeah.
And they come, they participate, they are very hands on. Initially, we used to see fathers coming only on weekends for weekend batches. Now we see weekday also fathers coming.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So,
So
okay, coming back to music, what is the right age to introduce a child to music, like say an instrument? What is the age? I know, like you said, 6 months, even in the womb, they can understand music, but when can they actually start learning to play music?
Um, so, see, I think I have two takes on this. Exposure to music, you should start as soon as children are able to listen. In fact,
Correct.
music is the best way for children to learn and memorize. If you go and look in the history, growing up, when a child was growing up listening to shlokas, mantras, chants, they would remember all of that without any effort because they were hearing. When it comes to instruments, my recommendation is please do not start on any serious instrument, or for that matter, classical vocals in any form before 6 years of age. Because if you start before 6 years, your child's bones are still developing, they are still forming. If you look at little hands and they are trying to play keyboards, their fingers can really not go far, they
True.
cannot do the justice to piano. Soon they will get bored and they will leave. On contrary, if you start 6 years plus, they will be able to uh, learn properly, enjoy, and progress. And if they start 6 years plus, by the time they come to their 10th grade, they might be actually able to get their B News or any certification in music,
Correct.
because by the time they are in 7th 8th grade, when they are comfortable in reading theory, writing, all music courses require you to go into theory of music.
True. Yeah.
So starting too early, they actually lose interest.
Correct. So,
So
so age-wise, would you be able to tell us, what is the kind of instrument one can introduce to children age-wise? Like supposing, that we have questions from the audience. Like there are some moms who want to teach their children piano. What is the right age to start piano lessons? What is the right
six
age to
years
start guitar
plus.
lessons? What about guitar?
Piano 6 years plus, tabla I would say 7 years plus. Please wait because tabla puts a lot of pressure on your bones and hands. Vocal you can start at 5. If your child is from that musical gharanas, they start very early because that's what children are listening and learning. It's in their DNA.
Yeah,
But if you don't have, if you as a parent believe that music is good for your children, you have classes like ours to attend. It will give you as parent ideas onto which kind of music to expose to your children. I mean, I like to use this analogy and I share it everywhere. We Indians are very much into culinary culture, right? We start this whole eating habit. The sense of food is developed through pehle doodh, then dal ka pani, then chawal, the
and
slow
khichdi.
progression.
Yeah,
I have not heard a 6 month old's mother giving them paneer tikka masala or chicken tikka masala.
correct.
When I ask them, do you do that? They're like, oh, what kind of question you are asking? But when it comes to music, parents actually introduce children to a lot of very complicated music, item numbers, so called. And they come back saying, Mera bacha nachta hai. But I know in my heart, wo bacha na, uske liye becomes white noise. They will lose sense of music.
True.
Because before the age of 3 or 4, child's world is parents. Child
Correct.
will do everything that makes their parents smile and happy. So if you, मेरा बच्चा नाच रहा है, मैंने ताली बजाई, बच्चा और नाचेगा, मैंने ताली बजाई, बच्चा और नाचेगा, मेरे बच्चे ने नाचा और मैंने, तो बच्चा नहीं नाचेगा, उसको समझेगा कि मम्मी is not happy. So, as a
Mhm.
parent, I think we have to be more mindful about what kind of music you introduce. It's not just about music, it's about what kind of music.
Music.
So, invariably, we always hear people say, music suno, sanskar mein music suno. I often ask music suno, kaun sa music?
Correct.
Nobody knows kaun sa music. Then some will say classical suno. Quite honestly, if you're not trained in classical music, you can't suno classical music.
That's true.
मतलब आप वो कड़वी दवाई के जैसे थोड़ा ही खा सकोगे, उससे ज्यादा नहीं खा सकोगे. You have to develop the taste. You have to develop the ears slowly. आप
True.
सीधा एकदम पंडित का म्यूजिक नहीं लगा सकते. वो बच्चे को सुन रहा है बिकॉज उसके पास चॉइस नहीं है, but it doesn't develop interest. So we have to be mindful about the kind of music that we expose children to, the kind of music that we introduce children to. They are sponge at this age. They will absorb. As long as we create a positive environment, they
Correct.
absorb.
True. Also, what are the do's and don'ts when you're trying to put your children for the, say, a piano class or a guitar class or singing? What are the do's and don'ts that you would like to tell parents about? When a child is learning something new.
Right. So, I would say lot of times it is parents who want कि मेरा बच्चा guitar करे, मेरा बच्चा piano करे. My recommendation is that when you start your exposing your children to any kind of a music form, first couple years give them exposure to different things. you know थोड़ा कीबोर्ड करवाओ, थोड़ा तबला करवाओ. और यू सी इफ योर चाइल्ड इज नेचुरली इंक्लाइन टूवर्ड्स मोर बीट, उसको तबला ही बजाना है, तो इवन तबला में देर इज अ tabla class and there is a drum class and there are different kinds of percussion. First 2-3 years allow your child to experiment with different kind, and this 2-3 years should be between the age of 5 to 7,
All right.
and after that let them pick whatever stream they like. I strongly and very highly recommend that everyone should have some kind of a musical companion, be it playing an instrument or be it some kind of vocal. If not that, let them listen to the music, उसका भी उतना ही फायदा है. मतलब when it comes to benefit to me as a human being or benefit to my brain in developing with music, even what I listen matters. So if I'm not one of those, मैंने कीबोर्ड किया मुझे नहीं अच्छा लगा, मैंने तबला किया मुझे नहीं अच्छा लगा, मैंने गिटार किया मुझे नहीं अच्छा लगा, it's okay. Even if मुझे सुनना अच्छा लगता है, I should develop that hobby बोलो, habit बोलो, it
Mhm.
helps.
So parents also have questions as to when it comes to learning instruments. Uh, like you said, the age to begin with, you've told us, and what are the do's and don'ts you've told us. Also, when it comes to being musically inclined, how do parents know that their children are inclined to music? How would they figure that out? A lot of new parents have that question.
Yeah, so a lot of parents want to know, how do I know my child is inclined to music?
Musically inclined, yeah.
Quite honestly, all of us have musical ear. It's just the type we have to identify. Sometimes we have to inculcate habits. I mean, I ask all the parents, don't you teach your children brush your teeth every day in the morning? When you
Mhm.
start that teaching process, it
Mhm.
takes time, राइट.
Correct. Yeah.
एवरी डे बच्चे को उठाओ करो, आज कभी डांट के, कभी समझा के, कभी यू नो कहानी सुना के, कभी यू आर डूइंग ऑल ड्रामास वी डू टू डेवलप दैट हैबिट. डू वी हैव टू टेल एन एडल्ट ब्रश करो? We don't. They know
Yeah.
they have to. So what I'm trying to say here is that as a parent, when we know that this is a habit I have to form, we work on it. Music is one such thing. If you give a right kind of exposure, and again I repeat, right kind of exposure in early years, 95% of the time your child will develop musical awareness and a
Yeah.
love for
Love
music.
for music.
Your child might not play guitar or a keyboard, but your child will have a sense of sound and sense of rhythm and sense of music. And your child will know how to use music to heal oneself, to entertain oneself. So the
Yeah.
difference is how you treat it.
Thank you. So we have someone in the audience asking, what about specially able children? How do you teach them music? Do you also enroll them in your class? Is
I
there a
do.
different set of musical instruments for them, or is there a different kind of approach that you have for them?
So yes, we do enroll specially able children in our classes. We believe in integrating them with regular student. Our approach towards them is to be little bit more sensitive, little bit more mindful, and little bit more vigilant. We give them same sets of instrument, and we have seen them doing beautifully. I mean, I have worked with parents who have, special kids who still today thank me because it just made their life so easy. And those parents, but for those parents, I actually tell them you have to continue for longer duration. You
Yeah,
cannot expect a magic happening in 1 hour. You can't do it, I can't do it. But
true.
if you continue, if you repeat with us session after session after session, you will see the difference. That is
Have you
guaranteed.
seen, sorry, have you seen music help them in any way, the specially able children? And I
It
mean, I'm
helps
sure
them.
you've
It helps
started.
them. So, three things I have noticed. It helps them calm down and channelize their emotion. It helps them use up their energy. A lot of them,
Correct.
they don't know how to use their energy.
True.
It also, our program also focuses on language development, and we noticed that children going through our program were able to vocalize their emotion. They were able to put words to their emotion.
True. It's true.
So a lot of time there's delayed speech, delayed hearing, hand-eye coordination, lazy legs, all those borderline gets fixed very quickly where they need to be in that environment doing things. And
Okay.
what better way to exercise than with music?
Music. True. So, is there a message you would like to give all parents who are interested in teaching their kids music or enrolling them for such classes?
So, parents who have children under 5 years, musical bonding is the place to start. We have multiple locations across Mumbai. You can look us up. Our website is very basic. It's musicalbonding.com. We are on Facebook and Insta. We are not very heavily into social media. Our classes are USP. The kind of music we bring to the classes are USP. The environment we create in our classes are USP. We have been in the space for over 13 years, working with thousands of children and thousands of parents. So, our parents will tell you how they benefit from our program. If not us, please be mindful of the kind of music you expose your children to.
Correct.
Do not, like you would not give paneer tikka masala to a 6 month old. Don't give them those heavy mixed songs. Give them simpler bhajans, simpler tunes. Let children hear one kind of sound. Dig out folk tunes. They are more melodious. They help build emotion of the child. So I think that's the note I would leave parents with. Be mindful of the kind of music you expose your children to, and it is your responsibility as a parent to inculcate and develop love for music in your child. I don't say teach music, inculcate love for music. That is the goal. That is the goal with which we work. With music comes attention span. With attention span comes the extra benefit of brain development. And the beautiful thing, Manisha, is you can start falling in love with music at any age.
That's
I
true.
mean, now I'm hearing about research where music helps with dementia and all those
Correct.
age related issues. And all
True.
you have to do is listen to songs, nothing else. How
Correct.
easy is that?
That's a wonderful note to end this session on. And thank you so much, Aditi. It was
Thank
very
you.
insightful, and I hope it's helped all our parents also understand how music helps children. So, for more such interesting updates for you and your little ones, please download the Baby Chakra app, and we hope to see you there again sometime. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you, Aditi.